Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I have my recruiter, patient recruiter, Monica here. Monica works at one of my research, actually for several of our research clinics. As a patient recruiter, she does community outreach. We haven't done a video on patient recruitment in a while. We should actually have you on our next webinar, the one Chris and I do for recruitment. Okay. But for now, we're just going to give you quick 3-4 actionable strategies that you can implement at your clinic today, right? So let's go through your favorites in order. What's the first one?
Okay, so depending on the actual study, you're going to set up the recruitment strategy, right? So, but the one that I actually think it works very well is to have a newsletter.
Okay.
That has all the information. That has all the information in regards every single study you have, and also your organization, like your.
Okay. So make a newsletter, site-specific newsletter for your site. Now people are going to ask, well, what do you do about IRB approval?
Okay, in this kind of newsletter, what you do is you put basic information without mentioning a specific study.
Right.
So what you do is, for example, if you have an Alzheimer's research going on, you're going to talk about, you do some kind of research on the websites, obviously accurate information, where you can inform people about the research, how long it's going on, and educating people about the condition and about the research.
Okay.
But without mentioning the actual research name.
Right. So no study specific.
No.
General medical indications. Now, what do you do with this flyer?
Okay, so what you do is, for example, we use this in every single event we have, whether it is Launch and Learns, whether it is any kind of I don't know, national event or any.
Like local events in your area.
Yeah.
There's big organizations, and we're going to get into that next as well. So so with these flyers, you give them out at events, health fairs, and then you also.
And you actually, I mean, you can give this to people on top of the advertisement that the companies give you. Why is this important? Because with only this piece of paper, you're informing people about every single study you have and about your own clinic. So it's all the information in one piece of paper. People don't like to keep like tons of information.
Of stuff, yeah.
And then even if they have all the information of the studies, you know, the papers and that, your actual information is not there. So they don't know your phone number, they don't know who to call, they don't know where you're located. So this is very important.
And we also send direct mail, right?
Yeah. So this is we use direct mail for certain kind of studies, just because the target group does actually look at the mail. So for instance, you can send this newsletter with the information of the actual study that are already IRB approved, because the company gave it to you. And so that you will have the patient with all the information about the actual study, and then also about the older studies. You never know if in that house or in that place, or if they have anybody that maybe have the older conditions. So you're actually attacking more than one target.
So you should send it out to your PI or sub-I or referring doctor's database if they give you access to that. Like we did here.
Yeah, and you can have the newsletter in hard copy, and you can also send it electronically.
Okay.
So you can send it on the emails, and if anybody asks you about, I mean, your database, you can send every time you do an upgrade. Like, for example, you change studies, one finish, and then you have new studies going on. So you can send that over the email to your target, to your database.
Good. Okay. So your next strategy, that's number one, all right?
Yeah. And then the other one is to participate in every single organization that is relevant to the research you're doing. For example, like I was mentioning before, Alzheimer's. So you can be part of Alzheimer's Association, the Orange County Alzheimer's Association, and then you can create, you can actually take some classes like to become a facilitator and also create your own support group. So by creating your support group, you're building like credibility on your company.
Yeah.
You're doing kind of you're doing marketing, you're doing goodwill, which is creating good relationships with the potential patients, and on top of that, you will get more referrals from them too.
Yeah.
And
so it's a way to use their platform to further your cause for getting patients in the study. So in this particular case, most major medical conditions have some kind of an association, and even the ones that don't, we're going to get into action item number 3, but most major medical conditions have an association. You probably have a local chapter. The Alzheimer's Association is one. I know in oncology there's tons. I know diabetes. I know American Heart Association. There's National Institute of Mental Illness. I'm sure there's like one of these associations for everything.
And on top of that, there is support groups for every single kind of condition.
Right.
And so you can actually create your support group and do different kind of stuff with it.
And the key, I think, there is, we should repeat it, becoming a facilitator, a certified facilitator with that group, which is not that difficult to become, right? You have to go through their training. It doesn't cost anything, does it?
It does, but the cost is very minimal because
it?
It's like between $25 to probably $100.
Dude, I mean, you guys need to do this. Yeah, so minimal cost, $25, right? You spend more on Starbucks. You become a certified facilitator for that indication. Then you can conduct not only your own support groups whenever you want, but you can conduct their support groups and leverage their platform, right? This is like being a guest blogger to get traffic for your blog, writing like on the Huffington Post or something.
Yeah,
right?
and not just that, but they will advertise your support group, so you're getting free advertisement on top of that. And you're getting free advertisement from a organization that has already it's already been known and is reputable, so it's pretty good.
So you're just getting out there, getting in front of people, and ultimately putting the opportunities in front of them about research trials.
Yes.
Right? Nothing really specific until you build that trust, and then they start asking you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And then some of these organizations have in their website clinical trials, so you can subscribe to them and they can put your information there, and if anybody is interested, then they give you leads without even you doing much work.
Alright, and then the last one, or you have a few more?
And then, well, we talk about the direct mail, the groups. Okay, the one that is probably a little bit more work, but I think it's probably the one that is more important is to do community outreach, to do like you have to be very strategic about it, to select the facilities you're going to visit, or the healthcare organizations or the doctors or whatever you're going to visit, to do lunch and learns, or to explain them about every single study you have, depending on the study, obviously. So, for example, you can start by, for example, again with the Alzheimer's, you can start by going to the independent living facilities, because that's pretty much what it covers the target group I'm looking for. And then after that, so I'm going to the most important down to the least important facilities, without even not hesitating to go to any, because at the end of the day, you never know where you're going to get more leads.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, you have to do the most important at the beginning, and then ended up doing the least important.
And I know we said 3, but we're gonna give you a bonus one. I think this one's really good too. It's the Meetup.com.
Oh yes.
Which you haven't tried yet. So we have not tried this. Probably by the time we do our webinar, which will be in a month, we will have some results.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Explain the Meetup.
And actually, in the Meetup groups, you can register. You go to Meetup.com and organize
Meetup.com.
Meetup, any Meetup that you have an idea to do. For example, you want to do I don't know, bingo every month.
Yeah, they have
once a
meetups
month.
for everything.
So the target group is between people that has between 50 to 80 years old. You put all that information, the kind of meetup that you want to create to get the target group you want.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm explaining.
Yeah, so you can do a Meetup.com for anything, not just healthcare. There's Meetup.coms for single moms. There's Meetup.coms for twins. There's probably Meetup.com for Siamese twins. There's Meetup.com for everything,
anything.
right? So by making a Meetup.com for either patients with a certain medical condition or their caregivers, whatever is most appropriate for that medical condition, you're creating a place where people can come, gather, and if you want them to come back, you're not going to sell them right away on, hey, this is clinical research. You're going to build some context with them and get some trust, right?
Yeah, just to build rapport with the prospects, and then also provide something that interests them, like I don't know, any kind of game or any kind of be creative. I mean, you can do anything with it. It's just a matter of just look at what the target group that you're trying to get, and do some kind of research on internet, what interests this group, like which are their interests, especially when it's in between the certain age, they have certain different interests, and
Yeah, now we have Meetup.com. When I started, we had Craigslist, and I would make a support group, and I would post mental illness support group. And it would be at the clinic, and we'd have people show up.
Yeah.
And we'd have people join trials because of it.
And even the associations will do the advertisement for your meetups if you have the facilitator.
So that's where it ties in.
So
that's where it connects.
Yeah. So it's everything. You're working every single area, and you're attacking every single.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Monica. Let's do the webinar, right? So save more of it, and we want your results from this stuff at the next webinar, right? So for those of you watching in the future, we'll probably do one in July. All right. Thank you, Monica.
So tell us what you think about it, and how it went with your next marketing strategy, and see. We want to hear it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Dan and Monica from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.
Thank you.